I thought I would go and have a look at this footage, and what's actually happening is that he's been questioned because of something that's happened with him, so he's got to explain himself in front of these people, and we're going to hear what he says in a minute, and that I find absolutely incredible. I'm just going to stop this for a minute because I want to talk to this bit of video. But basically what he's saying is the piece of information which will show you that I'm telling the truth is in the document I'm not allowed to talk about. So why have they got him here if he can't talk about the thing that makes him innocent? I don't think he looks a particularly happy person in this, but I just do not know how they're doing this. Anyway, let's carry on. When I look at this footage, to me it's got the hands and the head thing, and not just that, we all have these glasses. They have this thing about things over there are small and things are here are big, you know, like the little Boris in the middle of the road and then the great big reporter. We all have these glasses. Look at the size of this glass and look at the size of him, right? That glass has to be a small glass because look at the size of him. I don't think that's in the right perspective to him. Anyway, they were rabbiting away and so forth, and this guy's head. How this man, I'm going to zoom in to show you now. I usually like to cut all these bits out so that you only see the end bit, but we're doing it as the video goes on. See, I cannot accept this. If he was really there, this would not be happening. Look at it. So basically, what this is another set. Look at that, and that line goes up to there. Now, my last boyfriend, who is a narcissist, had a real go at me about things like this, even though he said he was a truther. But if you cannot see these kind of things that they're doing to you, you can't be a truther. There is no politics anymore. These people are acting. So I wonder what eye colour he really has, to be honest, but do you see what I mean? I cannot accept this. He's interfering, his whole head is interfering with the background that's further away. Remember I told you they have this thing. I'm so glad they make mistakes. They can't do hands and they have problems with other things as well. But he is now interfering with the background, which is impossible. So anyway, let's turn it on. Let's put it on. Anyway, so he's rabbiting away, and so we already know that he cannot be sitting in that room and it cannot be happening the way that they're filming it. So what do? They just go to a studio and they'll go, well, when it's going live, the background will be there. You'll be sitting in the Parliament thing, but you're not really. You're just not even together. I don't even know how they do it. Because, you know, there is a few ways that they do it. Anyway, I'm going to stop a minute. There is a few ways that they can do it. They have 10 seconds of this person. They sit on the side. And then the one on the side is then mimicking. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to have the same voice, nothing. He just says what it is. And whatever they've recorded, then does it. It's going to sound like Trump. Or because someone else is deep faked into them, that's why they're always going to change a little bit. Oh my god, I went to go and see what colour eyes he had. He probably does have dark brown eyes. For a change, he does have the right eyes. But I came across that! Oh my god! I don't see how he was there when we were in lockdown. That's very strange, isn't it? I've never seen that before about him. But then I'm not into politics. Just to explain that this man used to be leader of the Scottish Party. Now it's a lady. I can't remember what her name is because I'm not into it all. But he used to be. And then basically when the UK did not vote for separation from Scotland in that, you know, well, you think you're being given something so you can vote for it, but you're not. Obviously England didn't go for the breakup with Scotland, and then he stepped down, and then the woman won. I can't remember what her name is, she came in and took over. And now he's at this thing. But I just want to show you, I just don't, you know, if all you've got to do is concentrate. I'm going to do it without slowing it down. Just concentrate on his hands when he starts moving his hands. And then you'll realise that his head is too big for his body. His head is stuck in there like, and he's got those hands again. You know, it's like, you know, when someone comes up behind you, you put your hands behind your back and then they put their hands through that loop and then they pretend to be your hands and they're going backwards and forwards and all that. That's what this is like. But look at the shape of his thumb. Look at it all. Look at that. I just don't. Has he got like fangs? I mean, you know, like claws or something. Do his fingers go right? Like, I don't know. I just look at that. Just look at that. That just doesn't look right because they can't do the hands. This glass is too small. There is something written next to him on the wall there. Here, I think. I don't know, but it's, if I zoom in, it'll get too small. But, you know, I'm going to play the bit that he's actually saying. His hands don't look right. Just look at his hands. Just follow his hands. And then you wonder whether that head goes on that body. They fit it round, you know, however they do it. And, you know, there's no definition, you know, like if he's got such a heavy chin, then why, I don't know, little collars. See what I mean? Like, I just don't think that body goes on that head. I just don't know how these people do it. Maybe he's realised what a whole horrible mess that he's put into and all the games he's got to play. And there's his iPad. I don't know. Look, I just don't. I know the shadows are there, but I just don't. I don't know. It's horrible, isn't it? This is happening right now. Well, while I was recording this, he's talking. I've just taken it from a little bit that he said. Yeah. Anyway, let's play what he said. Ridiculous. If you've come to try and clear your name, but you can't talk about the bit that's going to clear your name. It's just incredible. It's stupid. And then he's not there. So what the hell goes on? If you see what I mean. This is what people are buying. This.
And as a follow-up to the question that was put to you at the very start by Margaret Mitchell, who was asking you about the role of the Crown Office. And you referred to the fact that the Crown Office had asked the Parliament to redact part of your written evidence to this committee. You have been not just First Minister of Scotland, you've also been twice a member of the House of Commons for substantial periods, and indeed you are a member of the Privy Council. In your experience, would the Crown Prosecution Service in England ever have asked a committee of the House of Commons to redact evidence that it had published in the same fashion? And if it had, what do you think would have been the response of any Speaker of the House of Commons to that request?
Well, the straight answer is no, they wouldn't, and the normal response from certainly the House of Commons, but any Parliament, I would argue, would be to reject any such overtures and say the Parliaments are there to serve the people, and the Prosecution Service, whether it be the Crown Office or the Crown Prosecution Service in England, is there under the same obligation. Obviously, the Parliament shouldn't be interfering in the independence of the prosecution services, but neither should the Prosecution Service be presuming to interfere in the legitimate business of the Parliament. Now, to say these things, as Lord Hope did this morning, and I listened to him on the radio, is not to undermine the position of the Crown Office. On the contrary, to say these things is to say, look, that institution should not be doing that, and therefore what is it in the leadership of the Crown Office is deficient that's drawing itself in to what is properly the political arena. You know, to say these things is to protect the institutional framework, to make it more robust, to say that the things have to be properly done, not improperly done. I mean, before I came to the committee, and the convener kindly allowed me to read a statement into the record, that I received a letter of what I was and wasn't allowed to talk about. And according to that letter, I'm not allowed to talk about.
I just spotted this bit. I just had to add it. What they've tried to do is they've tried to put this as a shadow in the glass, and it doesn't go in very well. Do you see what I mean? This fits in the glass. Why doesn't Alex Salmond's fit in the glass? It's got like marks up there because it's all doctored and so forth, and that's not really lying there. And yeah, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see the weird board? Hasn't got the line in it like that's got, but you know, they tried to. There's the pen or whatever down there, and whatever that is. Oh, actually, I don't know what that is. Is it a pen or the side of his supposed to be there? But I'm sorry, you would not get all of that in there. Otherwise, all of this would be in the glass. Do you see how freaky they are with the shadows? It's not right. Because what it was is, when I was out here, I thought, why is there a mark? I thought the glass went in. It's actually this thing, and it can't be. And where's that dark bit on there? There's no dark bit. Do you see what I mean? It's all just crazy.
Areas of my written evidence that were submitted in good faith to this committee, which are easily available online in reputable journals for anybody to see, which are wide part of political debate, and are accepted as that. The idea that the only place that can't be discussed is in a parliamentary committee is the direct opposite of what should be true. Parliamentary committees should actually be able to discuss things that cannot be discussed elsewhere because of proper exercise of parliamentary privilege and the duties of members of Parliament. And therefore, it seems to be an extraordinary position, and clearly something is wrong. Whether it's institutional, as Ms Mitchell suggested, or whether it's personnel, as I suggest, is a matter for the Parliament to decide. But clearly it's an intolerable situation and should not be allowed to continue.
Okay, thank you. And these are issues we will need to consider in due course and not necessarily for this inquiry, but it's very helpful to have your response. Thank you, Convener.
Yes, thank you, Mr Fraser.